it didn't take a week before I started seeing leads. As time went on, these leads started growing because you were kind of looking at the data and optimizing it to where we're not wasting money on campaigns that weren't really pulling. And then you would switch things over. So that really made a big difference. The only advertising I did was basically Google ads. I'd set my ad budget and just roll the dice and hope for the best. And I didn't know what my ROAS was, no idea whether it was even working.
And what was the biggest challenge you had being an auto repair shop owner in terms of lead generation and sales? So basically lead generation and conversion of leads prior to working with us, just in general.
The biggest challenge, you say?
Yeah.
I think managing all the tasks and within the business and trying to deal with the advertising and all that, there's just not time. And I didn't have enough, education on it either, because there's always changes. And so I think that was the biggest challenge. And, getting in, you always have to have new customers coming in, especially if you want to expand.
Why did you kind of decide to work with us in the first place? What were the main things prior to kind of knowing how the system works? It was just a sales call, really. So what made you make that decision? Because there's so many different agencies out there, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess once I talked to you, I realized how your business, I felt like I'd worked with other advertising agencies doing various things, but it pretty much when you got started, that was it. And then, you'd see the withdrawal out of your account every month, but I never spoke to anyone. And you guys had it set up where I'd be having a weekly meeting. As time went on, it was able to be a little further apart because things were getting, a lot better, and we just need to make small adjustments. But that was the main thing. Once I got on board, you turned it over to Sam.
Yeah.
We kind of went over things and kind of you were getting everything set up for me. And then it didn't take a week before I started seeing leads. As time went on, these leads started growing because you were kind of looking at the data and optimizing it to where we're not wasting money on campaigns that weren't really pulling. And then you would switch things over. So that really made a big difference. I don't remember where my cost per lead was when I started, but I know we got it down to, I think it was around $35 a lead, and our job average is about $800. I can offset it with one job, pretty much.
Well, actually, I've got a list here of the campaigns that I can see you were targeting. Was classic cars?
Yeah, we did classic cars, hot rods. I think we did brakes, and then we got real specific on brands.
So just to clarify to any viewers as well, classic cars was one side campaign, and then with the brakes, that was targeting all kind of brake repairs for all vehicle makes.
Yeah, that was. And
then we also did Subaru, Toyota. I'm just reading a list here. Subaru, Toyota, Jeep, and Ford. And this is a really interesting thing. We also did transmission as well. So the interesting thing is that I think the biggest mistake auto shops make when running advertising on Google, for example, is they target keywords like auto shop near me, mechanic near me, or auto repair shop, right? Or auto repair shop, and then maybe location at the end, right? Los Angeles, whatever. What you're bringing through is a mixed bag of leads where they could be looking for a headlight replacement or something just you just can't control. It could be a big job or it could be a small job, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a small one, but it's much better, like you said, on that front end to have something substantial. Such as a real job that's actually going to, pay pretty decent.
Sure. And then so what we've done, obviously, with the specific campaigns, we gain control over that initial lead, right?
Yeah,
so therefore controlling that average repair order, like what you're saying. And I think that is an interesting aspect of what we do. And I think that has really helped us to get good client results. Yeah.
You really have to be prepared to get these leads because they are going to come. And so you want to take every one of those and nurture it. And it doesn't really take a whole lot to do, but you will get a lot of leads. You've got to follow up on it.
Yeah.
So that was maybe the only problem I had was, the new problem was how do I handle all these leads all of a sudden? So you kind of have to get a system together and kind of go through them first thing in the morning and make, follow-up calls throughout the afternoon later on.
And it makes a massive difference, right? It makes a massive difference.
It's a good problem.
Yeah, and I think the way in which you deal with it can like double your closing rate, basically.
I agree,
so
for sure.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And overall, now that you've worked with our, like now you understand how our system works and everything, what would you summarize as like the main key differences between us and other agencies?
I think it's absolutely one-on-one. I mean, obviously, we're both going to succeed if we get things done right and do it the right way. I think you guys have been on top of it, like every week, looking at the statistics and the numbers and adjusting where you need to. That's why it became so much more defined over time. So there's a lot to do in the shop when you're an owner, and to have this off your back is a great thing to have, because there's just so many things that can go wrong during a day. Just in the back end, parts don't come in. You just got your hands full. And on top of that, dealing with trying to do the advertising yourself, not really knowing, if you are even making a profit on it is not the way to go, I don't think, because it's way more profitable to have somebody do it that knows what they're doing. I know you've had a lot of experience. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, awesome. So, well, thanks for jumping on here, Chris, and sharing your experience. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And looking forward to continuing to work with you.
That sounds good. I look forward to it as well.